Hey, what's up? It's Billoftheuniverse, and I'm going to do the chart of Daisy Edgar-Jones. I really like Daisy Edgar-Jones. I saw her in Where the Crawdads Sing. I loved it. I thought she was so good. And I also saw her in Twisters, and I thought she was really, really good in that too. So she kind of like captured my love of cinema because I love good cinema. So when I saw Where the Crawdads Sing, I was like, whoa, this is a really good movie. And then as far as like thrillers go, as far as like actual entertainment value, Twisters was good. Twisters was really good. I saw it in the theaters. And I remember when it first came out, so that's funny. It's actually, I'm just now making this parallel, but in the first Twisters, it was Helen Hunt, and she's a Uttarabhadrapada's son, so she's a Saturn woman, and Daisy Edgar Jones is a Sun woman. So, and those are the strongest planets. Like those are the toughest, strongest planets. It's Saturn and Sun, and actually, mythically, Saturn and Sun go toe to toe, like head to head, like in battles, fights. Sun is the king, but in ancient times, actually, Saturn was king. That's why back in the day they had Saturnalia, because Saturn was worshipped back then. So it's funny that the two leading ladies of this very violent film, Twisters, were both the strongest planets. So I think that's really cool. So yeah, when I saw her, it's funny. So yeah, her sun is in Kritika, which is Kritika is actually Pleiades. Pleiades is that star cluster within the constellation of Taurus. So she's a Taurus sun. This is Vedic astrology. So this is an ancient Indian system. This is not modern Western astrology where we talk about I'm a Gemini. Like no, we do stars. We don't really talk about the signs. We talk about the actual stars, and we go into the mythology behind these stars, paralleling Hinduism. So we talk about different deities, stuff like that. So anyway, she's a Kritika sun, which is a sun-ruled nakshatra. And so that's very, very masculine, very strong. So it's funny because I saw she was a Bharani moon, and Bharani moon women are usually super like conventionally hot. And she's very conventionally hot, but I'm just saying, like, for example, Christina Aguilera is a Bharani moon. You know what I mean? She like dolls herself up. Daisy Edgar Jones doesn't doll herself up. She's very beautiful, of course, but she doesn't doll herself up in that way. You know what I mean? Not in the way, not in a very Barbie like way. So it's funny because when I saw her Bharani moon, I was like, oh, that's interesting because she didn't give me that Bharani impression. She actually, and I was like, she must use it in a very masculine way, energy. And the moment I said masculine, I looked at her sun and I saw that her sun was in Kritika Nakshatra. Again, the Kritika is ruled by the sun. Sun is the most masculine planet of all the zodiac, of all of the planets in our solar system. Sun is the most masculine. Sun is very light giving. Sun is very energy giving. Sun is very, also sun is very independent. So, the fact that she's Kritika sun could mean that she's a very independent person, that she's very brave, that she knows how to, not depend on people, not be super like dependable, not be very clingy, not be, a very, very just independent person, which is funny because that was kind of like in the storyline of Where the Crawdads Sing, is she basically raised herself. And that's a very big thing about Kritika. Actually, there was an astrologer, I can't remember his name right now, but he was making that parallel, how people who are on a karmic soul path to like really carve their own way they will be Kritika Nakshatra. And Kritika is, again, just so masculine. And these people, and he was even making these parallels about all these like people who live in the wild, who like carve their own life out, who depend on themselves, their own instincts, their own gut, their own strength. And that was very much the storyline of Where the Crawdads Sing, was about this girl who was abandoned, when really she made her own way. And it's funny because I know Kritika people who don't know their fathers, and so they also were kind of like, kind of forced to carve their own way, because they never had that guidance, that strong hand to kind of like lead them. You know what I mean? Like literally, I know 3 Kritika people right now that, and that's off the top of my head in my personal life, and none of them know their natural fathers. And, they're very, consequently, they're very, very, what's it called? Independent, overly independent. If this girl was a guy, he would have a big penis. Because Botany Moon and astrologer Claire Nocte pointed this out, that Venus Moon men are the ones with the big penises. And I have to attest to that. And I have to, I have to agree with that. Because all my ex-boyfriends were Venus Moon men. So, yeah, she's a Venus Moon woman, which means she's very sensual and she's very brave, and she's very, if she's not the only child, she's like going to be the oldest child, or she's going to be the most successful child, like in a way, like no matter where she stands in her sibling group, like there's something like extra special about her, like extra something about her, extra unique about her. Usually it means they're the oldest, or they're the most successful, or they're the only child. Yes, but then she has her Saturn conjunct her moon, and she has her Mercury conjunct her moon as well. I wonder if she is a writer, because Mercury people are really good writers. Mercury people can do a lot of different things. Mercury people have a lot of, well, they could also have just a lot of high energy. They could just burn energy really well. They can have a lot of mental energy, which is why they make good writers. She could also be really good with her hands. And Buttony people, I notice, also are good piano players. So I don't know if she's ever played the piano, but I bet she would be really good at it. But she's got Saturn conjunct her moon. Saturn conjunct moon, that can bring a little bit of depression. It can force you to like put a lot of structure in your life. It can for and these people, honestly, it's a this energy overall. I know it's weird to say, but she could be good in the military. Like she could be just a good fighter. Kritika is just so brave, and then she's Buttony. Buttony is a soldier. Like Buttony people, I'm telling you, Buttony people do so good in the military. Bharani is also a Brahma nakshatra, so these people can be rich, and it doesn't really happen right away, but they can eventually find their way. And Bharani people can be just so rich. So I would encourage her, especially with that Mercury conjunct her moon. I know this is weird because it's not really about the arts, but I encourage her to start her own business, like to start her own something and really go from there. Because Kritika, damn, this can be a financial powerhouse. Like honestly, this chart can be a financial powerhouse. Um, I'm sorry. Okay, K through the 11th. That's interesting. So K through 11th can make you kind of an introvert. K through 11th can make you naturally popular. It can mean that you're an attractive person. It can mean that people want to know you. But it could also mean that you kind of don't really care to be. It's a lot of energy for these people. It's like, it's not that they don't like people. It's more just they're just more introverted people. They'd rather focus more on the arts. They'd rather focus more on like their hobbies, their passions. They're very smart, so they like to like I said with that Mercury conjunct moon. They're very smart, so they have a lot of interests. They have a lot of things that they like to sink their teeth into, and so they kind of keeps them home a little bit. Um, Ketu, her Ketu is in Shut Up Bisha. Yeah, again, it makes her attractive. It makes them people. A lot of people like to look at them. You know who also has K through the 11th is Angelina Jolie, and that's the same thing. Like, of course, we all love her, and she's good at the arts, and she's good at a lot of things. And every time she does something, we all watch her, and she's very beautiful. But at the same time, she's kind of an introvert. She kind of likes to be at home with her kids rather than be on the spotlight all the time. So it's kind of like that. There's someone else I know who has Ketu, Ketu in the 11th house, where she's just like very popular, but she's just more kind of introverted. I can't remember who, but you know what's funny is that you know who has the opposite of this placement is Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey has her Rahu in the 11th house, and those people love fame. Those people love to be revered. Those people love to be at the top. Those people love to be, rich and fancy and bougie, and they're like the celebrity of the celebrities, which is so funny. And then this girl has the opposite. She does, unlike Mariah's Rahu in the 11th, she has Miss Daisy has Ketu in the 11th, which makes her introverted. She's more quiet. She's more to herself. And then she's got her Rahu and Magha in the 5th house with Botany. Interesting. Well, she's very creative. And this is a weird like quality. Weird thing to say is like random, but she's a very, very good judge of character as well. That's kind of a big thing for her. She's trying to is being a good judge of character, but through hardship. So like again, that's also in the storyline of where the Crawdad sings. Like she was trusting people, like she thought she had a good judge of character for these people, and then she had to learn through pain. It was illusion, right? Because Rahu was illusion. So she had this illusion that she was trusting people and trusting being a good judge of character with these people, and then it wound up her being wrong. So that is something she might have to look at. Is being kind of a little bit careful of her judge of character, because Magha in Leo is the judge. You know who has her they have to really practice it. You know who has their Rahu and Magha exactly where this is Judge Judy. Like judges are Magha. That's just what they are. Magha is a star in Leo, by the way. So in one way she's definitely like achieving her Rahu, because her Rahu is in Leo. First of all, that makes her very, 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 honestly, I'm not gonna lie, makes her sexual as fuck. But also it makes her very creative, because Rahu is so about creativity, and it's about creating illusions, which is perfect for Hollywood. And it's in Magha. Magha is just so creative. These actually, both placements can suggest music. I wonder if she's a music person. I wonder if she sings, or I wonder if she plays an instrument or something like that, because she's got a lot of Venus and Magha in the 5th house. Like with Rahu, that's like very, like the arts is everything. The arts is, or being, being a very creative person. Oh, there was one more thing I was gonna say. So Kritika, every time, she's got her Kritika in the 4th Navamsa. Every time I see a person with a Shiva Nakshatra in the 4th Navamsa, which is her, they are very sensitive and warm and loving, and they have like a whole they have a whole world in their eyes. Like it's hard to explain. They have gone through so much in their life, and they have where their transformation and their evolution as a soul, like you can see it in their eyes. These people, and whenever I see men with this placement, they are either gay, or they're either very, very sensitive, very, very emotional. Yeah. So they're just so vulnerable. They're very, very, very emotionally vulnerable people. And it's a very beautiful thing. These people will wind up being celebrated for this quality that they have. These people, especially since she's a Sun Nakshatra and Kritika, like these people can be, yeah, celebrated for their kindness, basically. They're known to have that warmth. Yeah, and then like I said, Botany Moon, that's a warrior. So this is a very strong chart. This is a very masculine chart. This, I'm not gonna lie, first of all, she's classic sun woman. Sun women are very beautiful, they're very pretty, and they have long dark hair. When they were kids, a lot of sun women were so rough and tough that a lot of them kind of were like, am I even a girl? They're just like, I get along better with boys anyway. Like I'm just I'm a little bit tougher, a little bit rougher, so they kind of, but when they grow into their womanhood, especially her being a Venus moon, then they really, really like understand their femininity. But yeah, a lot of Sun women are very much like that. But when they grow into their womanhood, they're just so beautiful. They're very warm. They just have such a presence to them. People like them. They can honestly a lot of times be the it's weird because Sun is like the most popular person in their group, but her moon is in Venus, which is actually kind of introverted, and she's got Ketu in the 11th house, which is kind of introverted. So I'm just like, are you extroverted or introverted? It's like without even trying, she can be the most popular person in her group, but at the end of the day, she's introverted. So she's probably just gonna go right back home. Okay. I hope that was okay. Anyway, all right, guys, bye.